Which UFC records are going to be broken and which ones will remain forever? First off, the most fights in the UFC. I think the modern day mentality of the UFC has significantly changed from back in the day. Guys like Jim Miller and Charles Oliveira have been fighting in the UFC for decades and rack up dozens of fights. But the new guys, they just want to get in there, win a championship or make some money and get out. I do not see this record being broken ever. Jim Miller will add 1 or 2 more fights and he will be the all-time most fought UFC fighter forever. I think the same logic applies to wins. Jim Miller has the most wins right now, and I don't see that changing anytime soon. The only guy who can really break this is Charles Oliveira if he fights like absolute losers, but I don't think he will win 4 more fights in his career. So I also think that this record is here to stay forever. Maybe Max Holloway starts fighting like only top 15 guys, and he racks up wins against some losers in the next 5 years and like dies after that, but I don't see that happening. One of the best records I think they have in the UFC is the most finishes. Oliveira is holding this record now, and I think he will hold this record forever. I don't think any fighter will surpass like 20 finishes in the UFC, and I also believe Charles might add 1 or 2 more. Now, this is interesting. I think Islam Makhachev is definitely going to break this record, and not only is he going to match it with JDM, I think he's going to win 1 more and be the new record holder for the longest win streak. So I have faith that this record is definitely going to be broken. Another guy that I think is going to be able to match this is Merab Dvalishvili. I think Merab is going to definitely win 4 more fights, and maybe he and Islam share the 17-fight win streak. Another record that's never going to be broken is Jon Jones' 16 title wins. Although I think this should not be allowed because he's a cheat and a liar and everything bad, but he still holds 16 title fight wins. I don't think these are going to get broken, nor do I think the title defense record is going to be broken. That's not official, but Demetrius Johnson holds it forever. Fight night bonuses as well is going to remain with Charles Oliveira. Like, no way anybody's getting 20 bonuses, especially now that everybody just wants to win and leave. One more record that I think is going to stay with Derrick Lewis for probably ever is the KOs and TKOs, because I think he might add 1 more to it. He added 1 last week, and he is just 2 ahead of the competition. There's nobody in the top like 10 of this record that is even able to match his 16. So I think he'll keep this record forever as well. One that I think will be broken by Merab Dvalishvili is the decision wins record. He's not shown here, but he's also number 9 with 11, and I think he has the capacity to win a couple more. So I think he might get 15-16 decision wins and will be the record holder for that for a very long time. Overall, I think it's a really interesting topic how the modern day UFC has changed and how that translates into like the records and like the legend of the sport. Guys nowadays don't want to set these records. They don't even try to. They just want to make the money because they can make more money in fewer fights. They just want to maintain their health and dip as early as possible. So I think a lot of these records are going to remain forever. But I'm really excited to see them get broken.